In the beginning, if you will, the town and the market were one.
Market really has a body and a soul. And this year we're really celebrating the building itself. It's 125 years old, and this body has really stood the test of time. And so long as we take good care of it, it will be here forever. There's this other part of market that's the soul of market. That's all the people that have passed through here, that have worked here, that this is part of their everyday life.
When I married my wife, I was not looking for a wife to do this work, but she is so good at it. She's so good at it, and she seems to enjoy it.
Both my grandmothers worked on market. My grandma Hess worked at S. Clyde Weaver, and my grandma Sangri had produce stand. Well, basically they brought everything from their farm. I think I was one of the last sets of stands that bid on their stand. I had a number in my head that I wasn't going to go past, but I went past it a little bit, but I'm glad I did.
The market been like a family for me, you know. They hold my family, and they kept us under their wings, and I never forget that, you know, and it's become very emotional to have that.
It's very sort of 360, you know, being brought here with your parents, particularly Saturday mornings, to be bringing these kids back, having them form their own memories. As much as things have changed in Lancaster, these are the things that we were doing when we were kids, so sort of the circle of life, dare I say.
It's really that important social component to our city that doesn't exist in a lot of other places. And it's because of this public space that has pulled all of us together to be part of this community. So picture, if you will, back in the early 1700s, people coming by boat, landing in Philadelphia, and then making the journey westward.
In the 18th century, we were at the edge of the civilized world. King Street at that time was the King's Highway, the fundamental lifeline connection from Philadelphia out into the wilderness.
In 1742, by charter, King George II declared that there should always be a public market in Lancaster.
No trade was allowed inside an 8-mile perimeter of Lancaster, and that had the effect of really consolidating trade on that market ground.
Andrew Hamilton laid out the crossroads of King and Queen Streets. There will be a courthouse, there will be a town hall, there will be a prison, and there will be a marketplace. For the next 150 years, that market space was an open air space.
When private market corporations began to proliferate in Lancaster, the city really rallied itself and said, well, we have to have a market, a public market that is as good or better than the ones that these private enterprises can provide. So they then built the central market that we know today.
There were concerns that at these private markets, people might alter the scales or sell inferior product. So the Founding Fathers said, no, let's make sure there's a good public market here for our residents to be able to always shop. And they knew to be competitive, they had to build a new market house.
The marketplace originally extended out to King Street. 100 plus years later, James Warner comes along as an architect, and his street frontage is gone. The town hall and the Masonic Hall are there, and he has to design behind them.
He designed a state-of-the-art, top-notch, one-of-a-kind market house for here in downtown Lancaster.
Once it was started, the whole structure was erected and completed within about 5 or 6 months.
When it was open to the public for the first time on election eve in November in 1889, it was regarded as one of the most marvelous and modern of market houses.
When I look at this building sometimes, I marvel. I marvel at how they could build it when they build it
It's an amazing building because of its practicality. The shed on the overhang on the north side was intended to shield the fishmongers who could only sell outside.
The 22 operable dormers in the roof structure that allow heat to leave in the summertime. The fact that it's built on a gradual slope, so at the end of the market day, you can just hose it all out and clean out the market very quickly and easily.
The tower that's closest to the square stands about 2 feet taller. And I think it was a visual correction that he probably did intentionally to try to pull that tower into the square visually.
When Market opened in 1889, there were well over 300 standholders in the building.
One of the reasons the market's as successful as it is, and the reason it's won so many awards and recognitions and accolades, is really because of the character of the building.
There's a reason why there are 13 doors in this building, and it's for access.
63 different small businesses in the building right now. In fact, we have a waiting list of people that want to come and market. Somewhere between 15 and 17,000 people come into market every week.
My name's Kathleen Sullivan,
My name's Eric Rittenhouse.
and we're best market friends. We come every Saturday. Well, in Lancaster, it's Meet Me at Market, and that's what we do.
It's the first place we bring visitors, out-of-towners. We kind of pile everybody into the car and go, look what we have. We got to show it off.
If you're feeling bad for a day and market's open, go to market. You'll feel happy again.
I have to get here, even if it's just to get one piece of fruit or one piece of produce, just to kind of make my week feel right. And it's now a place that I've introduced friends and family, and I can't imagine my life in Lancaster without this place.
Hello, I'm Shane. I've been coming here my whole life. I've lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Correct pronunciation. I love this place. You can support your local farms. I especially love the thick cut bacon. It's amazing, double smoked.
When Cassidy was 3, she liked to go up to the counter, to the glass, and look at the different fish that were being sold at market. And one day, the owner of the fish stand saw her coming, and he crouched down really low so she couldn't see him. And there Cassidy is at the glass stand looking at all the fish, and he brought his hand up with one of the fish in it, and he squiggled the fish up to the glass counter, and Cassidy screamed and ran running up the hall, up the aisle, all the way up.
Historically, I think one of the things that has benefited Lancaster over the years is the urban-rural economies and tying them closely together.
Central Market is a great equalizer, so that folks from the city and the county can get together. Many of the standholders live out in the county, work out in the county, and come to the city, and they can speak in a very affirmative and positive fashion about their experiences.
Good food at a good price.
Well, one thing about the food that we raise is that you eat it right away. It's not a processed thing that gets put in a store. Whatever you have is fresh. You dig it and sell it right away to eat right away. We are as close to organic about it as you can get, but we're just not involved in the certification part, filling out all the papers. That's a lot of work. It's people at market that are our regular customers. We want to keep satisfying them.
Yeah, Country Meadows Farms is basically 6 farms between my brothers and I, my father and Jim. We don't use any pharmaceutical wormers or chemicals on the farm. The cow's smart enough to know what she eats, and that's one thing we appreciate about the cows. We carry grass-fed beef, pastured chicken, and woodlot raised hogs.
This is a tank of water with a piece of styrofoam floating on it, and the lettuce roots just hang down into the water. You know, just pile it high and they will buy, is what my mom always says. You want to make a big, plentiful display. You want to give the impression of bounty and, plentifulness.
Come here, girls. You want to go out? Come on. No, I was going to see if they want to go up to the trees. I mean, it's so rewarding to have someone, this is really great cheese. I mean, I never had anything like this. This is great.
We can stay really small and just have it be a family farm and just no employees, just our children helping us. And we're able to make a living because we can go direct.
I've had customers come to me and say, well, is it working? I mean, are you able to, is this business supporting you? I mean, it's great for us, but is it, I mean, and it's really sort of encouraging that they're concerned about our well-being too.
Yes, we just had a great cheese experience.
We tasted every one of her cheeses and all of her yogurts, and then we made our selection. We took just about one of everything.
Central Market saved our family farm. So I always get emotional when I do that part. And he knew that.
That was wonderful. The stand holders pay, I think, the minimum amount of rent in order to just break even in the market, whereas a private market would be trying to get as much as they can out of rentals. That's not the case with the public market. And I think because of that, it's stood the test of time. That's one of the reasons why it's as old as it is.
It is an old building, and so it is in constant need of repair and updates and maintenance.
Oh, I think it's a beautiful building. I love the brick. I love the clear story windows. I love how it was renovated and made more comfortable, but still didn't lose anything of its original charm and features.
We did the major renovation that finished in 2011. That took care of a lot of the plumbing and the electrical, all the systems issues. We also took the building back to more the way it was in 1889.
It's very nice since they remodeled and put lights shining up. Before that, people never looked up, and I didn't myself. And it's a unique building, and we're thankful for that. It's a place where we make our living.
So there is one system that was installed in the building back in 1889 that is original and still used for its original purpose, and that is the bell at Central Market. You hear one ring, you will see me scurrying over to where the bell is. If you hear the bell ring twice, that typically means that there's probably a spill somewhere. If you hear 3 rings, that means it's an emergency. The one thing that didn't get accomplished in the 2011 renovation was the roof. We do have roof leaks. We sort of band-aid them now as we go along, but we know that we're living on borrowed time as far as the roof is concerned, and taking it back to the slate structure that'll last all of our lifetimes.
We're looking forward to, in the very near future, of doing a market streetscape to finish off the work that we started in the market and improve the whole area, the looks and the usability of the area around the market. It's everybody's market. It's owned by everybody. It's not Wegmans, it's not Trader Joe's. It's our market, our Central Market.
It's amazing to me that this building has not gone the way of so many other historic structures and been manipulated or changed in a way that takes it away from its original purpose or its original intent or its original beauty.
This is not Disneyland. This is for real. This is the real thing. This is a real farmer's market, and it can't be replicated. It can't be reproduced.
I'm proud to be in Lancaster and know that this community cares about this building.
Thank you for supporting Lancaster Central Market.